Part 1. The knock at 12:03 a.m. I didn't believe in Halloween. Not the way other people did. To me it was just noise. Kids screaming. Cheap masks. Plastic pumpkins glowing under weak orange lights. But that night, October 31, something changed. And I wish I had never opened that door. It started at exactly 12:03 a.m. I remember the time because my phone screen lit up the room when the power flickered. And then, 3 slow knocks. Not loud. Not urgent. Just deliberate. Froze on the couch. The TV was still on. Some horror marathon playing in the background. Fake screams. Fake blood. But that knock. That wasn't fake. Waited. Maybe it was kids. Late trick-or-treaters. But something felt wrong. No laughter. No footsteps. No whispering. Just silence. Then again. Same rhythm. Same pause. Like whoever was outside knew I was listening. I stood up slowly. Every step toward the door felt heavier than it should. My house suddenly felt too quiet. Too empty. "Hello," called out. No answer. I reached the door and looked through the peephole. And that's when I saw it. Kid. Standing perfectly still. Wearing a costume. But something was off. Mask. It was just a blank face. No eyes. No mouth. Just smooth pale nothing. "Hey," I said, forcing a laugh. "You okay?" The kid didn't move. Didn't breathe. Didn't blink. Then slowly. It tilted its head. And spoke. "Can you let me in?" Voice. It wasn't a child's voice. Sounded like multiple voices. Layered together. Like something trying to sound human. My hand froze on the doorknob. "Where are your parents?" Asked. Silence. "Can you let me in?" Same tone. Same exact pitch. Like a recording. I stepped back. "No. Hurry. I think you should go home." The kid didn't react. Didn't move. Just stood there. Then suddenly, the porch light flickered. And in that brief second of darkness, disappeared. I opened the door immediately. No one there. No footsteps. No running. Nothing. Just empty street. Orange lights. And distant laughter echoing far away. I should have closed the door. Locked it. Gone back inside. But something caught my eye. Crossed the street. Another figure. Standing under a streetlight. Same height. Same stillness. Same blank mask. Watching me. And then, it raised its hand. And pointed. Not at me. But behind me. Inside my house. Turned slowly. Heart pounding. And that's when I heard it. From inside. Behind me. The door slammed shut on its own. And my phone buzzed in my hand. Message. From an unknown number. Clapperboard Part 2. The house that wasn't there. I didn't move. Couldn't. My back was still to the door when the message came through. "You already let me in." My fingers tightened around my phone. Slowly. Turned. The living room looked the same. Coffee table. Everything exactly where it should be. But something felt wrong. Like the air had changed. Heavier. Colder. "Hello," called out. My voice sounded smaller than it should have. Like the room was swallowing it. No answer. I forced myself to move. One step. Then another. Every floorboard creak felt louder than usual. Too loud. I checked the kitchen first. Sink dripping slowly. Then the hallway. Dark. The light at the end flickered once. Then steadied. My bedroom door was slightly open. I was sure I had closed it. "Stop it," I whispered to myself. "You're just tired." I pushed the door open. Nothing. But closet. Window. All normal. Exhaled. Maybe it really was just some Halloween prank. Some weird kid. Then my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Check outside. I hesitated. Then walked back to the living room window. Pulled the curtain aside. The street was still glowing orange. Pumpkins on porches. Fake skeletons hanging from trees. Everything looked normal. Until I noticed something new. Cross the street. To the left. House. And blinked. A house. It wasn't there before. I've lived here for 3 years. I know every house on this street. Every porch. Every mailbox. But this one. It didn't belong. Its lights were off. No decorations. No pumpkins. Just darkness. And the front door was wide open. I stared at it, trying to make sense of it. Maybe I just never noticed it, I muttered. But I knew that wasn't true. Movement. A figure stepped into the doorway. The same mask. Blank. Featureless. Standing perfectly still. Watching me. My chest tightened. Okay. Not funny, I said under my breath. Then my phone buzzed again. That's my house. I swallowed. No, I whispered. No. Another message. You should come over. I stepped back from the window, shaking my head. Nope. Not happening. But something pulled at me. Not physically. Something inside my head. A thought that didn't feel like mine. Just go look. I squeezed my eyes shut. This is stupid. But when I opened them again, I was already grabbing my jacket. I don't remember deciding to go outside. But I did. The night air hit me like ice. Cold. Sharper than before. The street was quieter now. No kids. No laughter. Just silence. I stepped off the porch. My shoes crunching against gravel. Too loud. Everything felt too loud. I kept my eyes on the house. That impossible house. Every step closer made it feel more real. Like it was settling into existence. Halfway across the street. Stop. Something was wrong. I looked around. All the other houses. They looked faded. Like they were further away. Blurry. But that house. Crystal clear. Like it was the only real thing left. My breathing got faster. Go back, I whispered. But my legs didn't listen. I reached the front yard. Dead grass. But I stepped onto it. And felt it. The ground was soaked. Not like rain. Something thicker. I looked down. Dark patches spread across the lawn. Reflecting the dim light. Water. But it smelled wrong. Like something had been sitting in it for too long. I gagged slightly. Okay. I'm done. I turned to leave. And froze. The street behind me was gone. Not dark. Not empty. Just black. Endless black. My heart slammed against my ribs. No. I turned back to the house. It was closer now. Closer than it should be. The open door waited. And inside. Heard it. Water. Dripping. Low. Echoing. Voice. You came. I stepped back. I'm leaving. But the ground beneath me shifted slightly. Like mud. Pulling. Don't leave. The voice wasn't coming from inside. It was behind me. Right next to my ear. Cold breath brushed against my neck. I spun around. Nothing there. But when I turned back, the doorway was right in front of me. And inside, I saw something moving. Something standing in ankle-deep water. And slowly, it lifted its head. The same mask. But this time, water was dripping from it. Like it had just climbed out of something deep. My phone buzzed violently in my hand. You're almost home. Then suddenly, a hand grabbed my wrist from the darkness inside. It's cold. And pulled. Clapperboard Part 3. The loop that shouldn't exist. The hand was freezing. Not just cold wrong. Like it didn't belong to something alive. It tightened around my wrist and pulled harder. I stumbled forward, my shoes sliding through the wet ground. That water. It wasn't just on the lawn anymore. It was inside the house. Spreading. Creeping. No, wait. I yelled, trying to pull back. My fingers clawed at the doorframe. Wood dug into my skin. Splinters snapped. Then suddenly, everything stopped. Silence. The grip on my wrist. I fell backward onto dry pavement. Hard. Air knocked out of my lungs. I gasped and looked up. My house. I was back. Standing in front of my own porch. The strange house. The black void behind me. Everything was normal again. Street lights glowing. Distant laughter. A group of kids running past in costumes. I sat there breathing heavily. What just happened? My phone buzzed. Flinched. Slowly I looked at the screen. No new message. But the time. 12:03 a.m. My stomach dropped. No. That was the same time. The exact same time as before. Froze. The sound came from my front door. Low. Deliberate. My entire body went cold. No. I turned my head slowly toward the door. And there it was. Peephole. The same position. The same angle. Like nothing had ever happened. Like I had never left. My breathing became shallow. This isn't real. But deep down, I knew it was. The knock came again. Exactly the same. My legs moved on their own. Again. Step by step. Like I was being dragged by something invisible. No, stop. But I couldn't stop. I reached the door. My hand trembled as I leaned toward the peephole. And looked. The same kid. Same height. Same stillness. Same blank mask. Waiting. My heart pounded so loud I thought it would burst. Can you let me in? The voice came before I even spoke. Same layered tone. Same unnatural echo. I staggered back. I already said no. Silence. The head tilted again. Same slow movement. Can you let me in? Exactly the same. Every word. Every pause. Identical. Like I was watching a recording. Loop. My mind raced. Okay, think. I remembered the message. You already let me in. My chest tightened. If I don't open the door, I whispered. Maybe it stops. Backed away. Refusing to move closer again. Seconds passed. Then a minute. No knock. No voice. Nothing. Relief started creeping in. Sound behind me. Rip. Turned slowly. The kitchen. Water. Pooling across the tiles. No. Rip. It was coming from the ceiling. Dark water. Spreading. And with it, that smell again. Heavy. My heart started racing. No. The sink faucet turned on by itself. Full force. Water splashing everywhere. I rushed toward it and twisted the handle. It wouldn't stop. Kept running. Louder. I saw it. In the reflection of the window above the sink. Behind me. Something standing in the living room. Froze. Slowly. I turned around. Nothing there. But when I looked back at the reflection, it was closer. Standing right behind me now. A mask. Dripping wet. Water sliding down its smooth, empty face. I spun around again. Nothing. My breathing turned into panicked gasps. This isn't happening. Then my phone buzzed. I didn't want to look. But I did. You keep forgetting. My hands shook. Forgetting what? Another message. You didn't say no the first time. My heart stopped. What? A new memory hit me. Dark. Sudden. A door. Opening. Hand reaching out. A voice. My voice. Yeah, come in. I staggered backward. No. I didn't. But it felt real. Too real. Like something had been taken from my memory. Something important. A loud bang from the front door. I flinched violently. Not knocking this time. Something hitting it. Hard. Again. Bang. Open the door. Different voice. Panic. Human. I ran toward it. Wait. Open the door. My neighbor stood there. Mr. Kareem. Breathing heavily. Eyes wide. You need to get out, he said quickly. What? Right now, he grabbed my arm. Before it resets again. My heart skipped. You know about this. He looked over his shoulder. Terrified. Then leaned closer. Listen to me carefully, he whispered. Do you hear water? I swallowed. Yeah. His face went pale. That means it's already started. Started what? He tightened his grip. The drowning. My stomach twisted. What are you talking about? He hesitated. Then said the words I'll never forget. Everyone who hears the water disappears. Cold chill ran down my spine. And that house, he added, voice shaking. It wasn't always there. I felt my chest tighten. What do you mean? He stared straight into my eyes. Something drowned there. Silence. From inside my house. We both froze. Slowly, we turned. The sound wasn't coming from the door anymore. It was coming from deeper inside. From the hallway. Mr. Kareem whispered. You shouldn't have opened it. Clapperboard Part 4. The path behind the houses. The knocking was inside my house. Not at the door anymore. Not outside. Inside. It echoed down the hallway. Low. Patient. Like it knew we were listening. Mr. Kareem's grip on my arm tightened. We don't have time, he whispered. It's moving faster now. What is that thing? I asked, my voice barely holding together. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he pulled me away from the door. Farther from the hallway. Listen, he said, breathing hard. You need to understand something. Another knock. Louder this time. Closer. He flinched. Then leaned in, voice low. 20 years ago. This wasn't a neighborhood. My heart pounded. What was it? A flood zone, he said. There was a river behind these houses. Unstable. Rip. We both froze. Water. It was spreading again. From the hallway. Creeping across the floor. And then, I whispered. He swallowed. Something happened on Halloween night. The knocking stopped. Silence filled the house. Heavy. Pressing. Kids went missing, he continued. One after another. My chest tightened. No bodies, he said. Just water. A faint sound came from the hallway. A step. Wet. Low. We both turned. The hallway light flickered. And in that flicker, I saw it. Shape. Standing there. Too tall now. Still wearing that mask. But its body looked stretched. Like it didn't understand how human proportions worked. Don't look at it, Mr. Kareem whispered quickly. I snapped my gaze away. Heart racing. What is it? I asked. They never figured it out, he said. Some say it was the river. Some say it was something in it. The footsteps stopped. Right at the edge of the hallway. Voice. You left me. My blood ran cold. That's not, I whispered. That's not its voice. Mr. Kareem's face went pale. Who does it sound like? He asked. My throat tightened. My sister. Silence. Why did you leave me there? My hands started shaking. No, that's not real. She's dead. Mr. Kareem finished quietly. I looked at him. How did you? It knows, he said. It pulls from you. Memories. Guilt. The voice came again. Closer. It was so cold. Water began to spread faster across the floor. Reaching our feet. I stumbled back. I can't stay here. You can't stay anywhere, he said sharply. Not unless we break the loop. Then how do we do that? He hesitated. Then pointed toward the back of the house. There's a path, he said. Behind the properties. It leads to what's left of the river. My stomach twisted. No way, I said immediately. I'm not going near that. You don't have a choice, he snapped. That's where it started. The hallway creaked. Slow steps again. Coming closer. Come back. The voice was right behind us now. I turned instinctively. And saw it. Standing just a few feet away. The mask was cracked now. And from inside, dark water poured out. Like something inside it was leaking. Move! Mr. Kareem shouted. He grabbed my arm and pulled me toward the back door. We ran. The house felt wrong. Longer than before. Like the hallway stretched behind us. The back door slammed open as we reached it. Cold air rushed in. We stumbled outside. The backyard was darker than it should be. No lights, no sound. And behind the fences, there it was. Narrow path. Cutting between the houses. Leading into darkness. Wet. Shiny under the faint moonlight. That's it, Mr. Kareem said. I stared at it. Water pooled along the edges. And I could hear it. Flowing. Somewhere far ahead. I don't like this, I said. You're not supposed to, he replied. Behind us, the back door creaked open slowly. We both turned. The thing stood in the doorway now, taller than before, its head scraping the top frame. And now, there were more shapes behind it. Smaller ones, children, all wearing the same blank masks, standing in silence, watching us. Run, Mr. Kareem whispered. We ran. Down the path. The ground squished under our feet, every step sinking slightly. The smell got worse. Like something buried under water. Don't stop, he said. No matter what you hear. But then, heard it. Laughter. Children laughing, echoing through the darkness. But it wasn't playful. It was distorted, broken, like something trying to remember how laughter works. Covered my ears. Make it stop. But it got louder, closer. Footsteps behind us. Not just one. Many. Running. I turned and saw them. Dozens of figures. All in masks. Chasing us. Moving too fast. Limbs bending at wrong angles. Water splashing under their feet. They're catching up. He yelled. Keep running. Mr. Kareem shouted. The path narrowed. The sound of water grew louder. Stronger. Like a river. Then suddenly, the path ended. We stopped abruptly. In front of it, a wide black body of water. Too still. No ripples. No movement. Just darkness. This is it, Mr. Kareem said. I shook my head. No, no way. Behind us, the footsteps stopped. Silence. We turned slowly. The figures stood at the edge of the path. Watching. Waiting. Not moving anymore. The water behind us. Move. Ripple. Then another. And slowly, something began to rise. From beneath the surface. Shape. Huge. Long. And as it broke through, I saw the mask. Much bigger now. Cracked. And beneath it, something was trying to come out. Mr. Kareem whispered. It remembers you. Before I could ask what he meant, a hand shot out of the water and grabbed him. Hard. He screamed. Help me. And then, he was pulled under. The water went still again. Like nothing had happened. I stood there. Frozen. Alone. My phone buzzed. I looked down slowly. Now it's just you. And then, from behind me, a whisper. Right next to my ear. Clapperboard Part 5. The water follows. Mr. Kareem was gone. Just gone. 1 second he was there. Gripping my arm. Breathing. Talking. The next. Dragged into black water like he never existed. The surface stilled. No ripples. No bubbles. No sign of struggle. Just silence. My legs wouldn't move. My brain refused to accept what I had just seen. This isn't real. I whispered it over and over. But the words felt empty. My phone buzzed. I didn't want to look. But I did. Now it's just you. My hand trembled. You did this, I whispered. You're doing all of this. No reply. Behind me. Path. Turned slowly. The masked figures were gone. Every single one. Path was empty now. But the ground. Still wet. Too wet. I took a step back. My shoe sank slightly. The water wasn't just near the river anymore. It was spreading. Creeping up the path. Heard me. No. I stepped back again. The water followed. Not fast. Not rushing. Just keeping pace. Like it didn't need to hurry. Because it knew I couldn't escape. My breathing turned shallow. Think. I turned and ran. Back down the path. The sound of my footsteps echoed strangely. Too loud. Too hollow. And behind me. Soft sound. Dragging. Sliding. Like something wet being pulled across the ground. I didn't look back. I couldn't. The path felt longer now. Much longer. Like it was stretching. Twisting. Turning in ways it hadn't before. This isn't right. The fences on both sides looked wrong. Bent. Leaning inward. Like they were closing in. Pushed forward. Heart pounding. Voice. Wait. Stop. came from ahead. A person stood at the end of the path. Woman. Wearing a hoodie. Familiar. Too familiar. Sarah, I whispered. She stepped closer into the faint light. It was her. My sister. The same one whose voice I had heard earlier. The same one who had drowned years ago. No. I shook my head. This isn't real. She looked at me. Eyes wide. Terrified. You have to help me, she said. Her voice sounded normal. Human. I've been stuck here, she said. I can't get out. My chest tightened painfully. You're not real, I said, stepping back. Her face changed. Why would you say that, she whispered. Because you're dead, I snapped. I saw it. I remember. Do you? She interrupted softly. Silence. My mind faltered. What? She stepped closer. Water dripped from her sleeves. I was calling you, she said. That night. My heart skipped. No. You heard me, she continued. You just didn't come. That's not true. But my voice lacked confidence. A memory flickered. Phone ringing. My phone. That same night. I didn't answer. I was in the water, she said. Cold. Scared. Her voice trembled. I kept calling your name. The air felt heavier. Harder to breathe. And you didn't come. My chest tightened. I didn't know, I whispered. She stepped closer. Now just a few feet away. Her face was pale. Too pale. You knew, she said quietly. Rip. Water hit the ground between us. I looked down. Puddle formed around her feet. Breading. Yes. I stepped back instinctively. The puddle stretched toward me. No. She tilted her head slightly. You left me there. Her voice changed. Subtle at first. Then wrong. Layered. Just like the mask. My stomach dropped. You're not her, I said, backing away faster. Her lips curled slightly. Almost like a smile. I remember everything. Her eyes darkened. Completely black. Water began pouring from her mouth. Endless. I turned and ran. The path twisted again. Branches scratched against my arms. The fences disappeared. Replaced by darkness. Pure black. The sound behind me grew louder. Not footsteps anymore. Flowing. Rushing. Like a flood breaking loose. I glanced back. And saw it. The water. Not just following me anymore. Chasing me. Rising. Forming shapes inside it. Ants. Faces. Reaching. Screaming silently. I pushed myself harder. My lungs burned. My legs screamed. But I didn't stop. Then suddenly, the path ended. Again. But this time, it wasn't the river. It was my house. My front door. Exactly where it should be. Like nothing had ever happened. I stumbled toward it. Please, please. I grabbed the handle. Twisted. Opened. Warm light spilled out. If normal. I rushed inside. Slamming the door behind me. Locking it. My chest heaved. I made it. Silence. No water. No footsteps. Nothing. I leaned against the wall. Relief flooding in. Rip. My heart stopped. Slowly. I looked down. Water. Pooling at my feet. Inside the house. I looked toward the hallway. And froze. The walls were wet. Dark. Oh. Like the entire house had been underwater. And at the end of the hallway, something stood there. Waiting. But this time, it wasn't wearing the mask. It was me. Standing perfectly still. Smiling. And then, spoke. You never left. My phone buzzed in my hand. I looked down. This is where you drowned. Clapperboard Part 6. The version of me that stayed. This is where you drowned. The message stayed on my screen. Bright. Unavoidable. I looked up slowly. It was still there. Standing at the end of the hallway. Me. Same clothes. Same face. Same posture. But something was off. The smile. Too wide. Too still. Like it had been carved into place. You're not real, I whispered. It didn't respond. Just stood there. Watching me. Rip. Water slid down the walls. Rip. From the ceiling. Rip. from me. Froze. Slowly I lifted my hand. Water rolled off my fingers. Cold. Heavy. What? My breathing quickened. I touched my shirt. Oh. Completely soaked. No, that's not. A memory slammed into me. Dark. Violent. Halloween night. Years ago. Vain. Cold air. A phone ringing in my pocket. Just ignore it, I muttered back then. I'll call her later. The memory shifted. Water. Dark. Moving fast. My sister's voice. Please. I can't. I gasped and stumbled back. No. My eyes snapped to the hallway. The other me was closer. It hadn't walked. Hadn't moved. But it was closer. You left her, it said. My voice. Perfectly mimicked. I didn't know. You knew, it interrupted. The lights flickered violently. The walls pulsed. Like something alive. You heard the phone. My heart pounded. You heard her calling your name. I didn't know she was in danger. Silence. The smile widened. But you knew she needed you. The words hit harder than anything else. 'Cause they were true. I remembered now. I had been annoyed. I had ignored the call. Turned the phone face down. Chose not to answer. I didn't think. My voice cracked. That's the point, it said softly. Rip. The water reached my ankles now. Cold. Numbing. I stepped back. Stepped forward. The same time. Perfect sync. No. I shook my head. Stay away from me. You stayed away from her. The water rippled. Then moved. Not randomly. Toward me. Climbing. My legs. Gripping. Like hands. I tried to pull free. But it tightened. You left her in the dark. The voice echoed now. Not just from it. From everywhere. Walls. Ceiling. Floor. Cold. Alone. Drowning. The words layered over each other. My breathing broke into panicked gasps. Stop. The figure tilted its head. And suddenly, it was right in front of me. I didn't see it move. Just was there. Face inches from mine. Skin. Ill. Waterlogged. Like it had been submerged for too long. You remember now, it whispered. Cold breath hit my face. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. I'm not you, I said weakly. It smiled. I'm the part of you that didn't leave. My chest tightened. What? Its hand lifted slowly. And pressed against my chest. It's cold. You ran, it said. The water surged higher. Waist deep now. Pulling. Dragging. But I stayed. The room distorted. Walls bending. Ceiling stretching. You left her in the water. Its grip tightened. So I took your place. My heart skipped. No. That doesn't make sense. Leaned closer. Water dripped from its hair onto my face. You never left this house. The words hit like a hammer. Everything stopped. The water. The dripping. The movement. Silence. Another memory. Clearer this time. I was inside the house. Wet. Shaking. Puffing. Water spilling from my mouth. My sister wasn't there. I had made it back alone. Had survived. But she hadn't. I made it out. I whispered. The figure smiled wider. Did you? The floor beneath me shifted. Crack. Water burst through. Violently. Rising fast. Too fast. No. Grabbed my arm. Unbreakable. You don't remember the last part, it said. The water reached my chest. Then my neck. You didn't survive. My heart stopped. What? Its face moved closer. Eyes empty. Endless. You drowned trying to come back. The room collapsed into darkness. Water surged over my head. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't see. It was cold. Pressure. And a final thought. No, that's not true. But then. Voice. Familiar. Why didn't you save me? My sister. Right next to me. In the water. Reaching. And this time. I couldn't reach back. Clapperboard Part 7. The ones who stayed. Cold. That's the first thing I remember. Not fear. Not panic. It was cold. Wrapped around me. pressed into my chest, filled my lungs. I couldn't breathe. But I also couldn't die. My eyes opened. Darkness, endless, water in every direction. And yet, could see shapes, faint at first, then clearer, bodies, floating, dozens of them. No, more, hundreds, all suspended in the water. Ill, silent, watching. My heart, or whatever was left of it, started pounding. No, they weren't random. I recognized them. Faces from the neighborhood. Kids in costumes. Neighbors. People I had seen just hours ago. Mr. Kareem. Floating not far from me. Zopen. Me. A scream built in my throat. But no sound came out. Because I wasn't breathing. I wasn't alive. The realization hit slowly. Like everything else. Heavy. Unavoidable. I'm still here. A ripple moved through the water. And the bodies shifted. Not drifting. Turning. All at once. Heard me. My chest tightened. No, don't. Too late. Their eyes locked onto mine. And then, they moved. Slowly at first. Then faster. Closing in. Reaching. Their hands stretched out toward me. Not aggressive. Not violent. Just desperate. Stay. The voices came together. Layered. Broken. Stay with us. I tried to push back. But there was no ground. No direction. Just water. Endless water. I don't belong here. I tried to shout. But the words didn't exist. They just echoed in my head. A figure moved through them. Cutting through the bodies. Gliding. Heard me. Low. Deliberate. I already knew what it was. A mask. Crack. Familiar. Stopped in front of me. Closer than anything else. And then, reached up. Slowly. Gripping the edges of the mask. And pulled it off. My breath or whatever replaced it stopped. It was me. Not the version from before. Not the smiling one. This one. Looked broken. Hollow. Skin pale and swollen. Like it had been underwater for years. This is where we stay, it said. Its voice echoed through the water. Through me. No, I shook my head. I'm leaving. It tilted its head slightly. You've said that before. Chill ran through me. What? The water around us shifted. And suddenly, I saw it. Not with my eyes. With my memory. Overlapping. Repeating. The night. Over and over. A knock. A door. A mask. Path. The river. Mr. Kareem. My sister. Everything. Again. And again. And again. Each time, it said. You get a little further. My mind struggled to keep up. What are you talking about? Gestured around us. The bodies. The ones who stay, it said. They tried too. I looked closer. Some of them were me. Different versions. Frozen at different moments. One reaching out. One screaming. One trying to run. No, I whispered. You almost made it, it continued. My chest tightened. Almost. It nodded slowly. The first time you never left the house. Another version of me appeared. Curled on the floor. Water filling the room. The second time, it said. You reached the path. Another version. Falling. Dragged under. The third. More versions. More failures. More endings. I couldn't look anymore. Stop, I whispered. But it didn't. You always come back, it said. The water pulsed. Because you don't accept it. My head spun. Accept what? Leaned closer. Eyes locking onto mine. That this is where you belong. The words echoed through everything. No. My voice felt smaller now. Weaker. You drowned, it said simply. Images flooded back. Clear now. Painfully clear. Had gone back. Into the water. To find her. To fix it. To undo what I had done. But the current. Too strong. Too cold. Too deep. I never made it back out. I tried, I whispered. Its expression didn't change. They all try. The bodies drifted closer. Surrounding me. Not trapping. Welcoming. You can stop now, it said. Something inside me cracked. I don't want to stay here. The water stilled. Completely. And for the first time, there was silence. True silence. Voice. Blows. Stay with me. Turned. My sister. Floating beside me. Not broken. Not twisted. Her. The way I remembered. Warm. Alive. Or at least, looking that way. Her hand reached toward mine. Until. You don't have to run anymore, she said. My chest tightened. I'm sorry, I whispered. Tears, if they were tears, drifted away into the water. I should have answered. She smiled softly. I know. Her fingers brushed mine. And the moment they touched, the water around us shifted. The bodies stopped moving. Everything went still again. And for a second, felt peaceful. Like maybe this was okay. Maybe I could just stay. Maybe I didn't have to fight anymore. Maybe this was where I belonged. Her hand tightened around mine. And she whispered, now you understand. Behind her, something moved. A mask. Watching. Waiting. And just before everything went dark, my phone buzzed. One last message. Clapperboard final part. The night that never ends. Her hand felt warm. That was the first lie. Everything else about this place was cold. Drowned. But her hand felt real. I'm sorry, I whispered again. I should have come back sooner. She smiled. Understanding. It's okay, she said. You're here now. Those words should have comforted me. But something inside me shifted. Small thought. Quiet. Almost gone before I could catch it. Why does she feel warm? I looked around. The water was still. The bodies motionless. The darkness endless. Nothing here felt alive. Nothing. Except her. My grip loosened slightly. And for a split second, her smile twitched. Just a little. Too fast to notice if I wasn't already looking. My chest tightened. What happened to you? Asked slowly. She tilted her head. You already know. No, I said. I mean, after. Silence. The water around us pulsed once. Then stilled again. Her fingers tightened around mine. You left me, she said. Her voice changed. Not fully. But enough. Layered. My stomach dropped. No. Her face didn't change. Still soft. Still familiar. But her eyes. Too dark. Too deep. You left me in the water, she repeated. The warmth in her hand faded. Cold spread through my fingers. Fast. Gripping. Pulling. I tried to let go. Couldn't. Her hand tightened. Like something locking into place. Wait. I struggled. Let go. Her smile widened. Too wide. Just like the mask. And then, her skin shifted. Subtly at first. And more. Too smooth. Too perfect. Like something was stretching over her face. No. The edges of her mouth didn't move naturally anymore. They pulled. Extended. Until I saw it. A mask. Forming over her face. Cracking into place. The same blank surface. The same hollow shape. My heart dropped into nothing. You're not her. The thing wearing her voice tilted its head. I was never just her. The water around us trembled. The bodies shifted again. All at once. Turning. Facing me. Every single one. And slowly. Their faces began to change. Melting. Smoothing. Becoming the same. The same mask. Hundreds of them. All identical. All watching. I don't understand, I whispered. The thing stepped closer. Still holding my hand. You think this started with you? Its voice echoed everywhere. In your house. In that river. In your memory. The water darkened. Deeper. Endless. But it didn't. My chest tightened. Then what is this? The mask leaned closer. Close enough that I could see faint cracks across its surface. Like it had been worn. Too many times. For a long time, it said. This place was empty. The water shifted. Images formed inside it. Faint. Blurry. Then clearer. River. Before the houses. before the neighborhood. Dark water flowing under a moonless sky. People came here, it continued. The images changed. Children playing. Families walking. Laughing. Normal. Some of them didn't leave. The water twisted. Figures slipping. Falling. Being pulled under. Hands reaching. Then gone. My breathing, if it still existed, shattered. Accidents, I whispered. The mask tilted. Not at first. Silence. The water surged. And I saw it. Deep below. Something massive. Shifting. Waiting. Not a person. Not a creature. Something else. Something that didn't belong to shape. To be forgotten, it said softly. Is to disappear. The words sank into me. So I learned. The mask cracked slightly. More water leaked from within. I learned how to stay. The bodies around us drifted closer. I learned how to be remembered. My chest tightened painfully. How? Leaned in. By becoming them. My mind broke. You copy people. Not copy, it corrected. Continue. The water pulsed again. Every voice you hear. Every face you see. They're not gone. They're part of me. The realization hit harder than anything before. The kids. The neighbor. My sister. All of them. Still here. Not alive. Not dead. Worn. Like masks. My stomach twisted violently. And Halloween, I whispered. The mask smiled. Is when people open the door. Cold spread through me again. Costumes. Strangers. Knocking. Inviting. Its voice layered deeper. Letting things in. My breath stopped. That's why. The message. You already let me in. I had opened the door. Not just that night. Years ago. When I ignored the call. When I chose not to go. When I let something take her instead. You needed a way in, I said slowly. And I gave it to you. The mask didn't deny it. Instead, it tightened its grip. And now, it whispered. You help me stay. The water surged violently. The bodies rushed closer. Hands reaching. Grabbing. Pulling. No, wait. I struggled. But it was useless. The current wrapped around me. Dragged me down. Deeper. Colder. Endless. And as everything faded, the last thing I saw was the mask, floating above me, watching, waiting. Clapperboard epilogue. November 1st, 12:03 a.m. A man sat in his living room, TV flickering, Halloween decorations still glowing outside. He frowned. Who is it? He called. No answer. He stood up slowly, walked to the door, looked through the peephole, and saw person, standing still, wearing a costume, mask. But this one was different, had a face, real face, water dripping from its chin, eyes wide, desperate. And just before he stepped back, he spoke. Please don't let it in. Silence. The man hesitated, hand on the door, thinking, just for a second too long. And then, he opened it. My phone buzzed, deep underwater, somewhere far below. One final message.